That's right, I'm jumping on the tier list bandwagon, and in this video, I'm going to be ranking Bible publishers. If you have not seen these videos already, there's a bunch of them out there, tier lists, where people are having a fun time ranking all sorts of things. Video game characters, fast food, watches, candy bars, you name it, there's videos for this out there. But I have not yet seen one ranking Bible publishers. And since I do Bible reviews here on my channel, I thought this would be fun. Yes, I'm already stressed out about this. I'm nervous about hurting someone's feelings. I am going to offer some constructive criticism here to some Bible publishers and maybe some ideas that how they could improve some things. So if you're a Bible publisher, know that I love you. This is lighthearted and fun, but also you might take some of my thoughts and put them into practice and put them into your line of Bibles. That would be absolutely awesome. So how this works is we have a setup here where we have 6 different tiers. It starts with S, which I believe is supposed to stand for super or superb. It's like the best of the best, better than an A+, and then it goes from A to F, kind of like being in school and getting a grade in the classroom on a paper or a test or something like that. So I'm going to be ranking 14 different Bible publishers based on these 6 tiers, sharing some thoughts about why. I'm going to go through it alphabetically. Are you ready? Okay. Cambridge Bibles is first up. Cambridge is what I would call one of the big, well, I used to say big 3, now I say big 4 because I've added Humble Lamb into the top 4 premium Bible publishers, Schuyler, rl.l, Allan, Cambridge, and Humble Lamb. I love a lot of things about Cambridge Bibles. They sell lots of different translations, lots of different typesettings. Their classic KJV Bibles are incredible, and their more modern additions and styles in other Bibles is really great. I do think that there's room for them to grow, though. When it comes to those big 4, I think a couple of those publishers are starting to kind of surpass Cambridge and do more cool things, which we'll talk about later in this video. But I think that I would love to see Cambridge expand their line of Bibles to include more NLT options. I mentioned this in a recent video. CSB options, have some more different types of leathers and things like that. Just kind of spice it up a little bit and kind of get even nicer. They do mostly premium Bibles, but also a handful of hardcover and affordable ones. So I think they do a lot of things really well, but I would say there is room for Cambridge to get even better and publish even better Bibles. So I'm going to start things off by putting Cambridge in the B tier. So we're going to give them a solid B, like a B+ for Cambridge is where I would put them right there. Next up is Christian Art Gifts. I first reviewed a Bible by them about a year ago, this like bright pink Bible that is the best-selling Bible on Amazon, the best-selling Bible according to the EPCA charts every year. And they've since sent me a handful of things. And I'll be honest with you, some of it is really cool, like the big family Bible in the NLT. I think that turned out awesome. Other stuff, not really my thing. It just kind of feels like cheap, affordable Bibles to me. So I think they do some stuff really great, some stuff not as impressive. So for that reason, I'm going to give Christian Art Gifts kind of a C+ level, but we're going to put them in the C tier right there. Next up, Church Bible Publishers. Church Bible Publishers. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you may be thinking to yourself, have I ever seen Tim review a Bible by Church Bible Publishers? And the answer is no, you have not. In fact, a lot of people send me messages and go, hey, you should review this Bible by Church Bible Publishers or that Bible by Church Bible Publishers. And here's the deal. A, they have never contacted me and asked me to review anything, so that's one reason. B, I've actually seen them in person and honestly haven't been that impressed. I've seen them with other people who are holding them. I've seen them in bookstores, and it's just like they're okay, but they're nothing special. In fact, what I've noticed is that they seem to, their bread and butter seems to be selling Cambridge typesettings like the Turquoise and the Cameo and the Concord and things like that, selling Bibles that Cambridge designed, but doing cheaper versions of them that are less expensive than the premium editions from Cambridge. And that just seems kind of like a knockoff approach to me. So I haven't honestly been that impressed with Church Bible Publishers, so I'm going to give them a D. Let's be honest, nobody's getting an F. I'm not going to tell any Bible publisher that they're doing so bad that they get an F, but not really my cup of tea. Okay, Crossway. Crossway, I've said this many times on my channel that I think they're an incredible Bible publisher. And I think I've said this many times on my channel. I think one of the reasons why the ESV is so popular, has been so popular for the last 25 years that it's been out, continues to be so popular, is because Crossway is such a great Bible publisher, because they produce beautiful editions of the ESV in so many different shapes and sizes and options and type settings. And it's just a creative Bible publisher. I would actually love to see them. I don't know that I've ever shared this with the people at Crossway, but I think that they could hit a home run taking some of their best designs in the ESV and publishing those Bibles in the KJV, because I know people love the KJV. I would love to see Crossway do the KJV, give the Crossway treatment to the KJV Bible. I would think that would be great. And honestly, the biggest critiques that I have had of Crossway over the years have been with their heirloom Bibles, their premium Bibles, things like, the dinky little ribbons, and when they put the 4 ribbons in there, stuff like that. But they've recently announced that they're upgrading their heirloom Bibles. I've talked about that on my channel. They've put a few things on their website, but very recently, I received a message from the folks at Crossway sharing with me a sneak peek, a top secret look at those new heirloom Bibles. So even more than what's been posted on their website, more than what I've shared here on my channel already, I've gotten a really good look at what they're going to be doing with their new premium Bibles, and it is incredibly impressive. If you are thinking about getting a premium ESV Bible, you're going to be excited about what Crossway has to offer when they unveil these later this year. So I have to give Crossway an S. They are the first one. They're going to hop into that S tier status. I think that they're just doing an incredible job as a Bible publisher anyway, and there's more really cool stuff coming in the future. Since I've now put an S on the board, how many Bible publishers do you think are going to be in that top S tier by the end of this video? We only have 10 left. So how many more do you think are going to be in there? I'm kind of spreading the love around a little bit. Now we're going to go to Holman Bibles. They are a division of Lifeway, primary publisher of the CSB, the Christian Standard Bible. They are also the primary, primary, but they publish the NASB, they publish the KJV. So they do a few different translations. And I'll be honest with you, when I first got into reviewing Bibles 5 years ago, I only reviewed a couple Bibles from Holman, but over the last few years, it just seems like they're producing more and more great Bibles. I'm just thinking of a few off the top of my head that came out in the last year where it's like these are, again, like I said about Crossway, thoughtfully designed, interesting, unique editions of the Bible. They have this Holman handcrafted collection that has come out in the last couple of years. Last year, they revamped it with these beautiful marbled calfskin colorways. I think that they are, I can't really give them the S tier at Holman, although I think they're close to it. I truly think that when it comes to Bible publishing, that Holman is right up there near the very top. So I'm going to give them a solid A. I think that they are an incredible Bible publisher. So now we've got one in every tier but F for our first 5, so I'm definitely spreading the love around. Next up, Humble Lamb. If you're not familiar with Humble Lamb, you need to go onto my channel and watch some of my videos. Yes, my last Humble Lamb video, my last Humble Lamb video was a review of the NLT Sunrise. Prior to that, I announced that I was doing a special collab with the folks at Humble Lamb. We sold out of 500 Bibles available, sold out of it in about 48 hours. So I love the team at Humble Lamb. And again, I said recently, I'm elevating them up into part of the Big Four because I think that they do such an incredible job with publishing Bibles, that they're a truly incredible premium Bible publisher, so unique, different than anyone else. I really think they do just a fantastic job. I think the only knock on Humble Lamb right now is that they only have 4 Bibles, right? They have 4 different designs and 4 different translations, which I think is really great. They've told me, and I think they've shared publicly, that they're working on their next one. I think the more that they get out there, and it takes them a little bit slower because they're a small company, the more translations, the more Bibles they get out there, that they'll be even bigger. I would love to see that, an expansion of the translations available, and I would love to see them do certain designs in other translations. What do I mean by that? I love the NKJV Shepherd. I think that single column design with the cross references in the margins is absolutely fantastic. I would love to see them do that in the KJV and the NLT and the NASB and other translations. So it'd be cool, like Schuyler does the Quintel in lots of different translations. I would love for them to do the Shepherd in lots of different translations. But overall, I think Humble Lamb is incredible. So I'm going to throw them up there as well in the A category. They are an A+. So we got a couple of A's in there. And let's see here. KJV Store. KJV Store, I've only reviewed a couple of Bibles by them. I'm actually getting ready to review another one, their latest super premium Bible. Again, it's called the KJV Store. They just sell KJV Bibles, and then they have started to publish their own Bibles. They've had like some premium lambskin versions of their Bibles, but now they're doing super premium goatskin quality Bibles. But also, so I'm thinking about this in terms of publisher, not they sell other people's Bibles on their website, but the Bibles they actually publish. So very limited, very niche, just those KJV Bibles, but they do a really solid job of them. I'm not a crazy C.I. Scofield person for the Scofield Study Bible Notes, but when I see those Bibles in person, I hold them in my hand, I'm like, oh, they've really latched onto something. They've nailed the design of this. So again, I mean, I'd love to see them do even more and expand, but I think they're doing a solid job. So I'm going to give them like a solid B+ right there for the KJV Store, in good company with Cambridge Bibles. Next up is the Lockman Foundation. So they're the copyright holder and the primary publisher. I don't know if I'd call them the primary publisher. They publish the NASB. They own the copyright to the NASB as well as the amplified version and some Spanish translations that are connected, the MBLA, things like that. Zondervan publishes lots of people publish the NASB. But Lockman, when I first got started a few years ago, didn't have a lot out there, but they've ramped things up. They've added the Prime editions, which is their premium Bibles. They have new Bibles coming out all the time. I think I'm kind of in the same place with them that I am with some other publishers, which is I wish that they would expand a little faster, that they have more offerings. I think that they do really good with what they have, but I think that they could grow and become even more. So I'm trying to think if it would be like I'm thinking B-, C+. Am I allowed to put one like in the middle? Is that going to totally mess up my chart? I'm going to kind of put them between a B and a C for the Lockman Foundation. Okay, next up is R.l. Allan. This might get a little bit tricky. So R.l. Allan has been my favorite publisher of Bibles for a long time. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I've kind of fallen out of love with Allan Bibles. Not fallen out of love. I love their Bibles. I love the binding style and the history of the company and just the look and the feel of everything they do. But I'm gonna be transparent here. They haven't given me very much the time of day. I've gotten a couple of messages from them over the years, but I've reached out to them multiple times, not just to ask for free Bibles, but to ask questions about what they're doing and to ask about releases. And sometimes they just don't even get back to me. And so maybe my ego is wounded just a little bit from just like lack of connection with R.l. Allan. But also I look at their strategy and I just go, what are they doing? Like, they have an Instagram account that they don't use. They only post stuff on Facebook whenever they just have something to release, but they very rarely just like engage with their community. I've literally thought to myself, if they let me run their social media for like a month, I think I could sell them like 10 times as many Bibles because they just don't seem to be that engaged with it. And then when they do release stuff, it's just kind of random assortments of stuff. I've criticized them last year about the brightly colored Bible bandwagon. I'm like, R.l. Allan doesn't need brightly colored Bibles. They need to be a classic, historic kind of Bible publisher. So I love what they do, but lately I haven't been super excited about anything that they've done. And so for that reason, this pains me. But I'm going to give R.l. Allan a C. That is awful, but I'm going to give them a C. I think that's where they're at right now. I would love to see them jump back up, but I'm just going to give them a solid C. Okay, this is getting pretty interesting. Next up is Schuyler. Schuyler Bibles. And I'm not gonna waste any time. Schuyler Bibles is getting up into the S tier because they're the best of the best. Let's face it. I think that when it comes to premium Bibles, Schuyler has hit a home run left and right. I would love to see them have different editions, but they came out with the Stridon. They came out with some Traveris. They tried some new things. I don't love the Traveris, but I do love the Stridon, the Quintel, the personal size Quintel, the Canterbury. But then in the last couple of years, we've seen them trying new things with different types of leather, different colorways in the leather, just different collabs they've done with other publishers. I just think they're hitting a home run left and right. And when people ask me, hey, Tim, I want to buy my first premium Bible, and I'm looking at this versus this versus this. If one of them is a Schuyler, I often find myself saying to them, you're not going to be disappointed in the Schuyler. It's just so so great. And I tell people, if you can afford to save up the money and get a Schuyler, it's expensive, but if you can afford it, you're not going to be disappointed, and it's one of the best out there. So I think they're doing a great job as a Bible publisher, and it's definitely in that S tier. Okay, next is Steadfast Bibles, primarily publishing the LSB, but they also have some NASB 95 Bibles. I've said this. I did a really fun video where I talked about, is the Legacy Standard Bible here to stay? And a lot of people said, no, I don't think so. It's a fad. Well, here we are several years later, and they're still putting out new, interesting editions of the LSB. People are really liking this Bible translation. I don't know if it's going to break into like the top 10 in sales because it's still pretty niche and pretty boutique, but I think they're doing a great job. This is what I said in that video. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. I think it's here to stay because I think they're a good Bible publisher. I think they're doing a good job with that translation. I would love to see them take some of those editions and get some licensing and do some other translations as well. Similar to what I said about Crossway. If Steadfast would do the handy size in a KJV, wow, great Bible. That's a good idea, Steadfast. Y'all should be listening. If they would do some more NASB editions like they've done. I really like what they're doing, and I think that the approach that they've taken to producing the same Bible in really, really premium, kind of premium, middle of the road, and then affordable, you have lots of options, and a lot of times the paper inside all of them is the exact same, so they're like really, really solid. I think they're doing a good job. I'm going to give Steadfast an A. I'm going to give them an A. We're going to put them up here right in the A category. Okay, Thomas Nelson. A lot of people from the Thomas Nelson world, not the staff members of Thomas Nelson, but the fans of Thomas Nelson don't like me because I have said many times that I think the NKJV should be updated. I know. Leave me alone. You don't have to leave a comment. This is one of those times where you can just hear me say something and you don't have to comment about it, right? So I've gotten on some people's bad side in the Thomas Nelson NKJV world, but the reality for me is, here's what I'm thinking. I get a box at my front door I get lots of boxes from Bible publishers, and I think, okay, this is exciting. I'm excited to open this. When I get a box from Thomas Nelson, I'm genuinely excited because they usually have really great Bibles inside. They do a good job producing great Bibles in KJV, KJV. The room to grow would be more cool NET Bibles, but I also recognize that the NET is not a mega popular translation, so they're probably not going to start producing lots of NET Bibles because people aren't going to buy them, but the NET Full Notes Edition is reason alone for me to pump them up into a higher category. So I think they do a great job. I'm going to give them a solid A as well for Thomas Nelson. So we've got 4 A's, 2 in the super category, a couple B's, a couple C's, somewhere in between for Lockman, and 1 D. 2 to go, Tyndale Bibles. Tyndale is the publisher and the copyright holder, primary publisher of the NLT, the New Living Translation. They produce a lot, kind of like Crossway, lots and lots of shapes and sizes, lots of different Bibles. I did a video about this recently, why there are not more NLT premium Bibles, and that's kind of the biggest ding for me on the NLT on Tyndale, is that I wish they would produce a really great line of premium Bibles, because I think the NLT is gaining popularity. There's a lot of people I used to think of the NLT as like the young people's Bible, but now I know more and more and more people in their 30s and 40s and 50s who love the NLT, which says to me that there is a market out there for people who might actually have a little bit of cash to spend on a nice Bible. And I would love to see Tyndale bring back the NLT Select, that single column. Ooh, do that in a nice, take like the Schuyler treatment with the cool goat skins and everything like that, produce it at Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands and really knock it out of the park. I think that would be great. But also, they've done an incredible job with their filament-enabled Bibles. So many Bibles where you have a great solid Bible, but then access to this app. I think that gives them a bonus point as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them right on the line, kind of like I did with Lockman. I'm going to put them right on the line between B and A. So I'm going to give them like a B plus A minus right there for Tyndale Bibles. Last but not least, Zondervan, publisher of my book, Bible Translations for Everyone. If you haven't bought a copy, there's a link in the video description. We're going to give them a super superb S status simply because they published my book. I'm joking. Zondervan does really great with the NIV, the NASB, the NRSV. They publish a lot of Bible translations. I would say the coolest thing I've seen them do recently is the NIV Lectio Bible that they did with Practicing the Way. I think that turned out really cool. They've got the application Bible. What is it called? The NIV Application Bible? I know they sent me a list. Let me find it over here real quick. Zondervan NIV Application Bible is going to be coming out soon. I think it's next month as I'm releasing this, based on the NIV application commentary of the Bible. So they've got some cool stuff coming up. I would say I would love to see more NRSV and NASB editions from them. I would love to see, they have the NIV Study Bible. That's a really awesome Bible. You can see, can you feel what I'm saying here? Like, they do a great job. They have a lot of great Bibles. And at the same time, it feels like in the last year or two, there haven't been like a lot of what I would call like huge home run Bibles from Zondervan where I'm like, everybody has to have this Bible. I'm thinking about like the NET Full Notes Edition. I tell everybody to get that Bible. Or like I mentioned earlier about a Schuyler. You've got to get one of these if you can. I feel like Zondervan needs to like bring us out a Bible that's like everybody's got to have this. Maybe that's the NIV Application Bible. That could be a huge home run study Bible for them. I haven't seen it yet, so I'd like to check it out first, but I think they do a good job. I'm going to put them in that same status as Tyndale. I'm going to give them the line between B and A. I think they're doing a good job. They're a classic Bible publisher. So there you have it. Bible Publisher Tier List 2025. That looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with how that turned out. Y'all, I did not have this planned before I hit record on the video. I mean, I had thought about it, but I did not pick where everything went. I did this live right here on the go. So we've got 2 in the highest S tier, that's Crossway and Schuyler. We've got 4 in the A tier, Holman, Humble Lamb, Steadfast, and Thomas Nelson. I put 2 on the line between A and B, which was Tyndale and Zondervan. 2 more as a solid B, which would be Cambridge and the KJV Store, the Lockman Foundation right on the line between B and C, Christian Art Gifts, and rl.l Allan and C. That's probably the biggest surprise of this video is that I ranked rl.l Allan a C, isn't it? And that stings. It hurts my heart to have to do that. And then down at the bottom is Christian or Church Bible Publisher. So that's pretty fun. I think that's a pretty good cross section. I'm pretty happy with my work. Obviously, this is subjective, and my guess is that some of you are watching me right now going, this guy is a doofus, and you disagree with me. So here's what I want you to do. Kindly, remember we're just having fun here, hop in the comments and let me know what I got wrong. Let me know where you would rank all of these Bible publishers if you were making a tier list. And definitely if I forgot a Bible publisher that you think I should check out or I should mention, drop that in the comments as well. I try to get a good wide cross-section of Bible publishers that I've talked about a lot on my channel. So tier list for Bible publishers 2025. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button for me. And definitely, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click subscribe. Would you believe that over 50% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel? And you know what? For a creator like me, it really does help when you subscribe. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you like this channel, that you want to see more of it, and that you should share this, that they should share this with other people as well. And I want to help spread the word about all the great Bibles that are out there. My goal is to help you find a Bible that's right for you and to have fun talking about the Bible, putting out fun content for people out there. And we're having a great time on the channel. So definitely like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.